I'm Cecilia Jane, welcome to my channel, and today we're going to be doing the Realism Challenge. Now first, before I get into this challenge at all, I did try some fake tanner, which I've never really done fake tanner in my life, but I was like, what the heck, you know, I'm just in my basement, blah blah blah. Anyways, I was very impatient and did not wait for the mitt that you're supposed to use to like make it like not as splotchy. So in this video and in that video, as you can see, my hands are orange, and also there's just some discoloration and patchiness throughout my arms. I just wanted to get that out of the way because it's very obvious, and I know, but other than that, the rest of my body, it looks pretty decent, so that's good. I do know how to fix it in the future though if I do it again. Like I said, I'm not really a self-tanner person, but so I apologize for that. But yeah, anyways, let's get into this challenge, what this video is actually about. I'm sure you guys could care less about my self-tanner, but I did want to explain that because my hands look a bit weird. So if you're not familiar with the Realism Challenge, it's basically you take an object and you try to replicate it the best you can. I'll put some clips of like videos that YouTubers have done in the past. A lot of YouTubers have done it with like coins and I think like leaves and such, but today I thought it would be fun to do this little guy. And so I think this is a Beanie Baby, the TY heart, I think that means Beanie Baby, right? And I think it's one of the newer Beanie Babies because it's got those like crazy eyes that are like glittery, which old Beanie Babies did not have. And honestly, some of the new Beanie Babies are so like scary and gross looking, like the ones with the sequins. I'm like, who wants to cuddle that? But yeah, anytime I see this little guy, I think he'd be really fun to paint. You know, just the detail in his eyes, of course, the detail of the fur, and then like the paws, I guess the hooves have got some really interesting texture. I don't know if it's focusing. There we go. Yeah. So yeah, he's just really fun looking, and I thought he would be fun to try to replicate. And I'm not entirely sure what media I'm gonna use. It's probably gonna be like mixed media, colored pencil, maybe a little bit of paint, stuff like that. But yeah, basically just gonna try to replicate this the best I can and make it look like you're looking at a picture. And realism's actually really fun for me. It's probably one of the styles that I'm most used to doing. It just has like a very mechanical feel to it, like I kind of zone out. I think the biggest challenge I'm gonna have is just trying to keep him in the same exact spot with the same lighting. We know my cat likes to come and visit us and kind of disturb everything, so I'm hoping she doesn't do that. I'll probably take a picture of his position before we start so that I can try to replicate it if the kitty does like to come and mess it up. But yeah, I thought he would be fun to replicate, so let's just get into the video. Okay, so I just quickly want to show you guys the setup that I'm going to be working with. So here we have what I'm going to be drawing, and then I just put this little lamp right here so that I would have some interesting lighting. The other thing is this light is a bit like warm toned, so it'll definitely make the drawing warmer, but that is okay. And then we just obviously have like my studio light so that you guys see much better. And then this is a drawing board, and you're kind of like hunched over all the time like this. It's really bad on your back and your neck. So I have this drawing easel, which I will try to put the link down below if I can find it. I got it forever ago on Amazon. And then we just have my other like light, and then I'm going to be putting my camera right here, so hopefully you guys will be able to see well enough. And then I'll probably put a picture of that like in the video always so you guys can compare. But yeah, that's kind of what we're working with. I dragged this little kind of organizer, the knobs are on the other side, but just to kind of use as a table and put some of my supplies because I'm going to be somewhat limited. So yeah, that's what we're working with. Alright guys, so I got everything set up. We are using a Strathmore toned paper. It originally came in like a spiral bound book, but I just cut off the spiral. And sorry if you're kind of at a weird angle. I can't obviously have it like right here because that's where my head will be. But yeah, hopefully this setup is good enough. But yeah, we're just gonna kind of start sketching the drawing. I'll probably start with like a light pink colored pencil or something like that. Okay, so it is voice over Cecilia, and like I said, I just started with a light pink colored pencil, kind of just mapping out the general shapes of the unicorn. And I think I kind of already mentioned this, but the picture up to the left is not completely accurate to the angle and everything I was looking at it. I tried my best to get it accurate, but you know, it's not going to be exactly the same the way we photograph things versus how we see them. But anyways, after I started mapping stuff out, I just kind of quickly put in a basis for the colors like the darker pinks, the yellows, and then the splotches of blue as well. I like to build up my color pencil. I know some people kind of do it where they'll do like render the whole area of like the eye and then render the whole area of the body, but I kind of like to jump around. I feel like if you do it that way, it just, the whole piece is so much more cohesive and consistent. I don't think there's anything wrong with doing it the other way, but like I said, I do feel generally that your piece is going to be more consistent just because you're giving the same amount of love to every piece, like every section. And obviously here, like, here in a little bit, you'll see I did put a little more attention into like the eyes and the snout. That's probably mostly just having to do with the fact that that's what like intrigued me and that's what I knew would make the piece look good. So like naturally as an artist, you kind of want to make the piece look as good as you can. And the eyes are kind of obviously like the best part of this piece, I would say. So I definitely wanted to give those a lot of attention. I also forgot to mention this right in the beginning, but I did film with the camera kind of angled from the right side, which looking back was not smart whatsoever because obviously I draw with my right hand, so my hand was in the way of the picture pretty much the entire time. So I apologize for that. It's kind of in and out of focus and my hand's also in the way, but hopefully you guys can still kind of get a good gist of the timeline of the piece. I kind of realized this when I was like basically done, so there wasn't really any point in me changing the camera angle, but I do apologize because like I know you're not seeing it as best as you could. Yeah, like I said, I did definitely define the eyes much quicker than I defined anything else. But like we're kind of just naturally drawn, like I said, as artists to like the detailed part. You kind of want to get in quotes the hardest part done. It wasn't too hard, but you know what I mean, the most like kind of tedious part, I suppose. I mean, for me it's one of the funnest parts, but you know, it definitely requires more attention than the other parts. And then I just kind of started working on the hair texture and started adding in a little bit of a background. I wasn't entirely sure how to approach the background because like some parts the darker background really made the animal pop, but then some parts kind of blended in with the colors in the background. So I was having a tricky time like trying to decide what I wanted to do. I know that I liked the shadow on the bottom, but then like I wasn't really sure if I should just do the like what the background, like keep it true to the background. But I actually did keep it very true to the background, but I only put like a small amount of the background. As you can see, it only has like kind of a border of like less than an inch of it kind of fading out, so it is there kind of subtly. I just thought that was the best. I wasn't entirely sure what I know people who have done this in the past usually lay their item flat on the paper, but I couldn't really do that with this object, so. Hey guys, so it is officially going to be the second day that I started working on this. I'm pretty sure this will be the last day, so I'm hoping to finish it up today. I'll give you guys kind of what it's looking like right now. This is how it's looking. I'll probably go in with some acrylic paint and kind of do those dots because as you can see those individual dots. So I really want to try to capture that, so I'll probably go in with like some paint, but yeah. So that's what it's looking like right now. I still have a little bit of work to do, but like I said, I should be finishing it up shortly. But yeah. Okay, so it is voiceover me again. I'm sure you can tell by now, but so this is the part in the drawing where I really had to start to hone in on the details, the fur texture and everything like that, get the shading and the tones right. There's kind of a fine line you have to kind of think about when you're doing realism. I know some realistic drawing artists, I don't know how to phrase that, but artists that draw realism that, you know, they would draw every pore exactly where they saw it on the face, whereas some people, and kind of more the approach I take, is just try to get the overall sense of the pores rather than, oh, there's a pore in this exact location, but just trying to get like, if there's a cluster of pores, make sure you get that, but like not worrying about the exact location of everything. So like how that would apply to this drawing is like, oh, should I make sure that every single little hair is like where it should be? Obviously, with like larger strands that are kind of sticking out, those are somewhat prominent and characteristic to the piece, so you do want to try to include those. But like I said, I think there is a fine line, especially like unless you're completely going for photorealism, and obviously I was trying to get this as realistic as possible, but not to the point where I lose my insanity on every single tiny little piece of hair. So I did just try to get like the overall gist of hair, get the larger pieces where I saw them. Obviously, like on the ear hair on the top left, that's kind of forming the border between the hair and the background. I tried to get all those hair exact just because I could see them pretty easily and tell like the bigger pieces from the smaller pieces. But like on the piece, you know, some of the hairs were more prominent, like on the chest, kind of that top row of hairs I try to make more prominent, if that makes sense. So basically just getting like the feel for it rather than the exact replication of it. Will help you, like I said, kind of keep your sanity and just kind of make it easier on yourself. If you want to get every single hair and pore exactly in the same location, that's totally fine. And I do that with some pieces, but something like this, I knew it would look just as good if I just kind of didn't do it as precise. And not to say that it wasn't precise, but it just wasn't, the hairs weren't exactly where they were in real life, if that kind of makes sense. I'm not sure if you guys are following exactly what I'm saying, but yeah, that's kind of what I was doing here, is just trying to get the overall sense of the texture of hairiness rather than capturing the location of every individual hair. So alright guys, so I think we are officially done with it. I'll show you guys the finished product. So I thought I'd include a clip like this just so you guys could see it in better lighting. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. I am very happy with the result and think it looks pretty true to the little thing. Okay guys, so that was the finished product. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like this video if you liked it. Be sure to subscribe. Check out some of my other videos. I have been trying to post pretty regularly. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. Bye guys. And now it's time to thank my lovely Patreons who support me as an artist and get some awesome rewards in return, like sticker sheets and prints, and also their name at the end of my video. If this sounds like something you're interested in, there will be a link in my description.